Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level Marvel Rivals ranked cast. I slapped the heck out of my desk, so sorry about the camera shaking there. I hope you're all ready for a wonderful day, but first, we have a little bit of the classic coverage that we do. A reminder that if you like these videos, to like, comment, and subscribe. I hate that I have to say this at the beginning of every video, but it actually does boost the numbers when I do. So remember, like the video, it helps with the algorithm. I'm fighting YouTube robots right now to try and build this channel. Liking and commenting helps out with that. Subscribing! I have finally reached 20% of the people who watch these videos are subscribed. I'd love to get it higher. If you're part of the 80% of people who aren't subscribed, help get up there. Once we get to 5,000 subs, I will be starting to stream on Twitch. Link is in the description below, so you can help out that way, and it would be very appreciated. And of course, a big shout out to our members who help keep this channel going. While I do this because I love it, I do also need to be able to afford to live. So shout out to Puff Mendili, Roshula, Dogi Pokey, and of course, our longest running member, John, who is absolutely wonderful and has been supporting the channel since, like, the first month I started doing all this Marvel Rivals stuff, which I used to, for those who don't know me, just a very quick rundown, I used to be a StarCraft caster initially, and then moved on to Hearthstone, and then on to Heroes of the Storm. I did a load of other stuff in between, a little bit of Apex, a little bit of Underlords, a little bit of TFT, just a little bit of everything, but I mostly, after Heroes of the Storm's esports died, I just sort of stopped doing esports for a while. I had to afford, like, some stuff in my personal life, so I kind of had to stop doing a lot of the free work that comes around when you have to start casting a game. So I had to stop for, like, 3 years. And then I entered a situation where financially I'm pretty not doing great financially in general, but because of that, and because I'm also taking care of a family member at the moment as well, I actually found myself, ironically, while I didn't have the money to live, I found myself a lot of extra time. So I found myself in a situation where I'm able to fit these casts in and actually do the free work while also doing a little bit of extra work on the side to afford to live. The more support I get with this, the more time I can spend on this instead of that extra stuff to be able to afford groceries and existing. So there's a little bit of my backstory, so any support is appreciated, and you all have been so amazing so far. Now that we got the preamble out the way, let's talk about the game we have today. I decided that it was time to do another Here is the #1 ranked player for insert hero here. And today, I decided to give us, at the time of recording, which is the 29th of April, it is going to be the #1 ranked Rocket Raccoon player. I figured that would be a fun one, especially seeing as it's Season 2, they got buffed, we've had it time for it to settle. We're still in, like, Celestial Plus levels at the moment, we haven't reached, like, one above all or anything like that, but it's going to be a familiar name. One that you guys have seen and I have covered multiple times on this channel. Can you guess who it is? With no one hovering the rocket, who is the #1 Rocket Raccoon player? If you guessed Woofles, that is correct. Woofles is, according to Rivals Meta, the #1 Rocket Raccoon player. No one is going to get to play the Human Torch today. That will be bad. Now, reminder that because I am recording on the 29th, that is because I am off doing a little bit of professional scouting in Amsterdam. Come see me if you want to say hi. I will be there. I look like what you just saw on video, so if you see me wandering around, if you're in that area from the 1st to the 4th, come say hello. So yes, these are pre-recorded videos, is what I was attempting to say before I completely got distracted. The Hulk and Groot going to be taken out. Finding the teams differentiating here. This nerfs the Namor a little bit, so we're less likely to see that, and also nerfs the Iron Man. There you go, Woofles. Going between the Rocket and the Luna. They're a very good Luna as well. Oh, are they the #1 ranked Luna? I didn't even think to check that. Could they be more than one hero? Who's the #1 ranked Luna? It's also Woofles! Oh my god, they're the #1 ranked Luna Snow and Rocket Raccoon at the time of recording this. That is crazy. That's impressive. Being, like, #1 ranked in one hero is, like, ridiculously difficult. Being #1 ranked in 3 heroes, they're also the #1 ranked Invisible Woman. Woofles is absolutely cracked, apparently, on strategists. Alright, well, we're gonna say we came in as the Rocket player, but if they swap to Invisible Woman or Luna, then we know why, because they're #1 ranked in those as well. Let's talk about our players. We have, on the left-hand side, on the blue trunks, we have TimTheTatman, not the real one, by the way, on the Emma Frost. We have yveltal. Pretty sure I pronounced that one wrong, but they're on the Iron Fist. Drum Barrel will be playing the Captain America. Ryan Gosling, not the real one, playing the Winter Soldier, blocked by the Mind's Aegis there. Minish will be on the Lunar Snow. I'm pretty sure someone just got Spider-Man. Woofles is on that Rocket Raccoon, as we called. And on the right-hand side, the 01 White Camry, which if I remember correctly is an OJ reference, but I'm not 100% sure. They are also on the Rocket. Pro Gamer 360, great name, going to be playing on that Emma Frost. kalelmr. They're going to be on that Mr. Fantastic. WTFisPoshy, great question. They're on the Wolverine. Illy Skulls is on the Spider-Man. And howmad will be playing the Jeff. That means we have a Spider-Man and the Jeff backline destruction composition with Poshy as the frontline destruction and Kale filling in that second Vanguard role while also being the main range DPS here. Quite the combo. yveltal pulling back to their team so they can use the portal to rejoin their team on the point with at least some kind of sync. Woofles dropping that scene to try and keep the team up. Ryan Gosling was the one who swapped over to the Doctor Strange here. howmad gets a double swallow there, sends them to their doom as Minish and TimTheTatman are taken out. Poshy takes out Ryan Gosling though. Red team with that double pickup from Jeff have a huge person advantage. And it looks like they're going to be able to pick up the point, but Drum Barrel is going to try and delay him. Lovely tackle there. That is going to be a cleanup, and we are going to see the chase onto Woofles. Illy Skulls trying to get that raccoon. Rocket a little bit too mobile, forcing Illy Skulls to back away there. Final stand from Poshy. Not enough to finish anyone here. Psionic Seduction from TimTheTatman catches Pro Gamer. And Poshy will get finished off by Ryan Gosling. Blue team's defense, they are struggling a little bit, but red team are making it work with the help of the Brainiac bounce and a spectacular spin. That's going to be a double for kalelmr. Illy Skulls will get taken out. yveltal was able to defend themselves there. Just middle of the road meditation there. Caught by Wolverine, forced to disengage once again. Could have stolen the map heal there. Decided against it. Drum Barrel. Blocking with the shield, staying mobile, looking for that backline as we've come to expect. Living Weapon and Freedom Charge to try and rush in with Pro Gamer counteracting with the Psionic Seduction. Here comes howmad. Going for a swallow, finds no one though. Woofles up high, keeping the team safe, and that is going to be Spider-Man pushing in from the side. Here comes the Seer from White Camry, taken out instantly there. Keeping the team topped up as best as they can. Drum Barrel continuing to dive into the backline, trying to cause pressure, trying to buy a little bit of time as they put their pressure onto Pro Gamer with the help of yveltal. They're able to take them down. Onto the Jeff, but once again chasing Jeff, it's a little bit difficult because Jeff is so mobile. Another map heal taken, and that's going to be the end of the chase. They caused enough of a distraction, it worked out. yveltal dueling in with the Mr. Fantastic a little bit here, but Kyle able to drive them back in inflated form so they can push a little bit harder in. Pulling in, trying to get onto that Lunar Snow. Getting some good damage here. TimTheTatman coming out with the Psionic Seduction. Not going to be able to get any lockdowns, but will get some damage. Actually, will find White Camry and Wolverine with the capitalization. They try to burst them down as White Camry falls. In the meantime, Minish has been taken down to the backline as howmad is continuing to flank. Illy not going to be able to win that 1v1 as yveltal takes the fight. Drum Barrel not in the best position. They're both basically one cap, trying to stay mobile. Gets out of there. Does not want to take the fight as TimTheTatman will take out Pro Gamer. Healed back up, comes back in to take the duel. And we are now seeing Red Team getting very much split and staggered here. Blue Team are playing so aggressive, diving the backline that they're able to stagger eliminations and get some pickups. Ryan Gosling takes out howmad, and this time Drum Barrel will get taken out. Spectacular spin, not enough for the pickup here. Meleeing Hella mid-air as Ryan Gosling keeps the pressure on with that Goddess of Death, not finding any eliminations. Also able to keep themselves up. Here comes the Brainiac bounce from Kalel into the backline, but the Seer comes out to cancel that out to prevent the damage. So instead, Brainiac bounce is going to be dropped directly on top of it, so they know they can absorb some of the damage. Here comes howmad and the living weapon, which means howmad is not going to get targeted down, spins them because they know they have to get out of danger here. No one goes down, but they set up beautifully. howmad and Illy take the double. Minish will revive at the BRB. Drum Barrel, freedom charge, buying time for their team. Charging in, shield first, avoiding Wolverine, staying mobile. It's all about buying time at this point. Now they've created the distraction. They dive into the backline to try and set their team up for a little bit of extra freedom. Here comes Poshy once again. Pro Gamer with the follow-up. That was some AEW style stuff there. Picking up yveltal. Illy Skulls keeping the pressure on. Pro Gamer gets Minish. And they've got the positioning. They've got the zone there. Psychic Spear for the zoning here. Clearing out that Mind's Aegis. The cart keeps moving while this is happening. Mind's Aegis is blocking the majority of that Psionic's suggestion, but TimTheTatman dropped too low. The pressure is too much. Chasing off the Spider-Man with Wolverine to try and do some damage here. Sorry, that is Iron Fist, not Spider-Man, who will finally fall. Drum Barrel tries to make their way in, but it's too late. That cart has already reached point number 2. One last-ditch effort to defend. Drum Barrel trades out with Jeff. Not going to have enough for an initial full engage. Illy waiting for their opportunity. Waiting for a target. yveltal, not a good target. They can get out of there. Great target would have been that Emma Frost if they weren't in diamond form. Speaking of diamond form, goodbye Illy. Returns at the BRB. Ryan Gosling just not making it to the Jeff. And into the abyss you go. howmad with the double. yveltal bringing out the Star-Lord. Fast mobility to try and reach the point in time. Waiting for their team to come back out. Drum Barrel swapping off of the Captain America brings out the Iron Fist themselves. Solo Vanguard to try and finish this here. Kalel drops low. Brainiac bounce to shield them up, but they're still getting focused. Forced to retreat with it here. Pushing in. Hyper mobility, keeping their team topped up with a little bit of extra shielding. The CF4, that extra protection as that cart continues to move in, and no one even touches here. That is going to be a triple for Red Team. Nicely done. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish there as it looked like they were about to push on, but again, the dive. They were too distracted, forced to back off. Now, Blue Team on the attack. How do they adjust their composition? Do we see any adjustments from Red Team after what was a pretty successful push? Looks like pretty similar drafts, although we do see a slight mix-up as Minish moves over to the Adam Warlock here. Triple duelist, sorry. Managed to get that wrong twice. For the side of Blue Team on the attack. And none of them are any of those more bruisier duelists. While Iron Fist is quite tanky, still quite risky to try this here. It's not good. It's not like a Mr. Fantastic. Or even a Magic with a Magneto, where it's all about diving in and winning that first fight. This is just, what if we threw more damage at it? Well, this is the decision they've made. Illy off of the Spider-Man here. Oh my. Oh my. Do they fall for it? Portal came. Oh! Gets the triple. Perfectly done from Spawn. And then onto Spider-Man. Oh my god, the tech. The tech is real! I haven't seen that happen in so long! Oh my god, Illy Skulls getting the triple environmental! Oh, that's gotta feel bad. They're back though. They're already on the point. The fast rollouts from blue team trying to contest this, finding the backline, trying to push in. Woofles staying at range. Our number one rocket, the Seer round the corner. Jeff's on the flank, but their priority, they know they're not going to finish off Jeff, so they relocate, they move forward, they dance in and out. They always try to find the best position for their team to replace that BRB, but Jeff is on them here. Look at that, they don't even try to duel. They know they don't win this duel, so they just keep healing. Stay alive, try and keep the team going. They can deal with Jeff when it's convenient. This is why you will often see rockets with no damage on the board, because it's more valuable for them to try and just stay alive and heal the team than it is for them to try and burst down an enemy that's like a Jeff, like an Iron Fist, someone who's too mobile. This, on the other hand, is some damage you can do. Everyone's full health. This is where you can take advantage of the situation. Jeff on the flank. Again, not going for that. Not their job. Seer comes out. That's going to be enough for Ryan Gosling to take out Illy. Astral Flock to get out of danger. Matched by White Camry, but it's already taken down. Spectacular spin from Illy, but that is a beautiful soul bond by Minish to counter that out and prevent anything from coming in there. Healing coming in. Once again, Jeff in the backline being a menace. This is where you drop some damage if you've got any. Which they do, but it's not going to be able to track enough. The BRB is just around the corner, trying to keep yveltal alive, to keep the team going so that someone can make it back into the BRB. Point blank, this is where you trade some damage. When it's life or elimination, you go for the turnaround. And that's going to be enough, right? Gosling is taken out. Here comes the Psionic Seduction. Woofles trying to get out of danger, keep the team topped up as best they can with no BRB on the board. They're forced to just try and heal, and Illy is taken out by the Blaster Barrage. yveltal doing a great job there. Team's topping up. Woofles having to work overtime here with Minish. But it's working out. Rocket with reasonable burst heal and a lot of healing over time. And then you've got Adam. Quick burst heal and burst protection. The synergy. It's a little weird, but it's working out with this triple strategist setup, the triple duelist setup that they've got here. It is working. Drum barrel, the fast rollout, making their way back to the point to try and find the Jeff. The chase is real, all the way up into the air. They fly now, onto Jeff. The rush down is real, but the duel, Jeff has so much sustain, and drum barrel can't find a finishing blow as Woofles with the Seer to melt through the inflated Mr. Fantastic. Takes out the enemy's amplifier. Their amplifier will fall thanks to Rocket. Illy is taken out by Ryan Gosling, though, off to the side. Kalel dropping low. White Camry and Illy fall, but Illy comes back into BRB. Pro Gamer dropped down, and that's going to be Woofles taking out Kalel, and that will almost certainly be that cart reaching point number 2 as Illy forced to retreat, barely getting out on 7 HP. Forced to pick up a map heal. And blue team, after getting run down in round number 1, have gone full aggro in round number 2 and are trying to bring it back. Jeff on the flank, you see the shark fin there. Drum barrel deep in the backline. Keeping the pressure on. Gonna try and take out the BRB. Taking a little bit too much damage. Forced to disengage. Gonna meditate up. You can see Luna Snow. Ooh, catches them just in the back. But it's enough for Drum Barrel to get healed up. Deflect finds nothing. Great patience there. In comes Jeff. Finds Adam. Not much else. That'll be a quick environmental elimination. No hesitation there. Gonna start putting some focus onto Ryan Gosling, who will get Illy. Nicely done. Minish return at the BRB here. Kalel taken down. Nicely done. Minish showing the power of Adam. A little bit of extra burst damage to assist the team. Looking for that Jeff. Second they show themselves, they're about to get popped here. White Carry dropped to half immediately here. Illy looking for an environmental, but forced to back away. Does not want to get caught out here. Making their way in from the side, looks for Woofles. Deep in the backline, spectacular spin. Soulbond shuts it down. Drum Barrel goes down to Howmad, but Illy is taken out here. Woofles keeping the team topped up. Here comes the Galactic Legend. That's Sia. Not really in range to buff him as it was round the corner. They can still see Jeff. And if Jeff's over there, then they're not on the point. The BRB as a distraction to keep Jeff away from the point. Jeff forced to run in, but they're too slow now. Distracted. That was such an obvious bait. That was delicious. We're heading to overtime. How do they stop us capping that triple? They stand on the point. How do I stop them capping the point? I distract Jeff with the most obvious BRB ever. Woofles, my god! Next level plays. Full mind games. Oh my god, I love that. That's so fun. That is so fun. Alright, we're heading into overtime. Any compositional mix-ups here? Yes, Illy. That's probably just for the Rockets Packed Lunch. A little bit of pre-shielding for the team, which so far, literally no one has grabbed. This is like a legitimate source of frustration that I find in my game sometimes, where I put this thing down and not one person grabs it. Poshy has grabbed it by mistake. Finally, we're going to see Kal-El picking some up, but nothing for Pro, nothing for Camry, nothing for Howmad. Literally right next to it, ignoring it. That is frustrating. Oh, Illy gonna be staying on the rocket here. Triple strategist. Gonna be coming out. Off the Spider-Man. Try to make it happen. Let's have a look at the statistics here. Illy has the second most eliminations on the team. But still, being honorable, taking it on their own shoulders to adjust, to try and give their team a chance to survive that triple damage. Kal-El, though, getting picked off, comes back at the BRB. TimTheTatman dueling it out. Mine's Aegis gets burst immediately here. Woofles keeping the team topped up, getting pressured by Jeff, but they know it's not their job. It's not their priority to try and take out the Jeff. Keep people on the board, keep it sustained, avoid Jeff if you can. Just keep that point from being capped. You only need to hold it for the rest of overtime now, because it is down to the final few seconds, and Red Team are out of time with Kal-El and Howmad already taken down. The Seer is dropped. That's the melt onto their opponents. Rocket gets picked, and no one is close. Hella tries to make it, popped in the back by Drum Barrel. And that's going to be a 0%er for Red Team, meaning Blue Team, with 3 minutes compared to their opponent's 1 minute and 12 seconds. It comes down to what might have to be the miracle defense. Red Team, what do you got? What do you have? How do you deal with this? Illy looking to repeat the success of last time, looking for a Strange. Let's see if they can make it work here. White Camry was considering a Venom there, but instead going to be hovering on, going to be jumping on Illy. So I want to watch where these portals go. Okay, so we're going way off the side here. Right near the edge.
What can you do? Okay, I'll let you show me.
We're going to do some free camera action. First time in a while I've done it. Let's see if they get caught again.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
I'm so excited. I'm legitimately so excited. Here we go. Portal. He got 2 again. How do you go down again? Back to Spider-Man. Here comes Illy. 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 What are you? What are you? That's going to be 2 right off the bat there. Drum just going to be meditating up, but already getting dueled by 2-man. But as long as they're fighting here, they're not on the point. Back into spawn. Really making their way to their point. Pro Gamer getting topped up. We did end up seeing Camry on that Venom to buff Illy. Trying to make their way onto the point, but yveltal, Blaster Barrage onto the point here, trying to do as much damage as they can. This is the issue now. It's because we have Jeff on the flank. It's now solo support for Poshy to try and keep the team up, and there is so much time for blue team to take this slow to find an opening. They are, however, getting flanked, getting staggered. They're getting caught out a couple times here. Woofles healing up Drum. You can hear really off on the side. Like a stalking predator. Jeff's getting chased down. Takes out the BRB, or at least attacked it. Woofles cancelled it. To at least get some of the cooldown back. That's going to be the extra protection coming in. Good dash. Howmad. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Howmad only got Adam, but is able to sneak through the gap and make it to the end. Will take out Adam, but likely will fall to Iron Fist. So much sustain. Jeff is such a menace. Illy takes out Drum Barrel. White Camry is able to grab onto Ryan Gosling. And blue team, all that extra time they had has evaporated here. Only 1 minute left. Off the side. Goodbye.
Only 60 seconds.
Wait. Not goodbye. Mincy. Minish. Oh my god. Is there a way up? Is he trapped? No. There's no way up. He just found a gap. He bought time, but there was no way back up. Drum Barrel on the flank. Illy will finally fall down. White Camry gets the double elimination here. They are putting on a clinic in this zone. The point, getting pressure though. Drum Barrel is a living weapon in the backline. They are all alone, but they've been able to pull back the opponents, meaning that their team are able to finally leave base and make their way in with 22 seconds left. Spectacular Spin's going to be coming out once again right at that spawn door to try and buy a little bit of extra time, but Illy's forced to back up and wait for the extra healing. We'll get some. Kalel holding the line. Last ditch effort. Here comes Tim. Solo Vanguard. Stunned. Pulled. Seducted. Ryan Gosling. Minds Aegis. Buys them enough time. Into the air. With the extra healing. That's going to be a double. A triple. A quad with the revive. They're holding the line. It's a last ditch effort. Here comes Jeff to try and save it. Gets a double. But they need to make sure they're on the point. Gets a double spit. Quick bubble. Back in. Only gets 1 on the spit. Minish taken down, and it's too late. They don't touch the point. Jeff off the point for just a second too long, and that's going to be the game. Going over to blue team. The last ditch effort, the last final push. yveltal grabbing the double with that Blaster Barrage for the finishing push to finally get them on the board. That was a long game. 39 eliminations, only 1 more than Ryan Gosling, only 4 more than TimTheTatman and Pro Gamer, 10 more than Illy Skulls. But final hits, Illy Skulls. 22 final hits would be the highest in the game if it weren't for one absolute little word I can't say on YouTube, shark. How mad? On the flank constantly. 22k damage was the 4th highest in the game. 23 final hits. Good lord. Absolute menace. 40 eliminations. Highest in the game. Showing the power of flanking Jeff. Least amount of times getting eliminated. Also Jeff. 40 eliminations, 23 final hits, getting SVP, not getting taken out 3 less times than literally anyone else in the game. Getting really high damage, 22k, only getting out damaged by TimTheTatman with 25k, yveltal, who got 26k, and Ryan Gosling, the top damage dealer in the game, with 29k. We've also got 21 final hits. Yveltal with 18, 13 for TimTheTatman. Pro Gamer with 12. Pro Gamer, you can see, swapped to Strange there. They were taken out on that Emma Frost, but still tried to swap and bring their team back in. Respect. You respect the adjustments. You respect every chance that you can give your team. Damage blocked. 38k. Pro Gamer again, giving everything they could to try and bring this back. But top healing, it's going to go over to Woofles. The #1 Rocket Raccoon player. 10 eliminations, 40 assists. Only 3k damage, but that's to be expected. It's a rocket. But 35k healing is 9k more than the next highest, which is White Camry. Topping out those healing numbers. Beautifully done. Beautifully done indeed. So, that's it for today's game. I hope you had a good one. We got to see the top rocket player. We got to see some absolute shenanigans. Illy Skulls. What? An absolute menace. Doctor Strange openers. People still getting caught by that because people stop doing it because people know to avoid it now. And of course, the second people start avoiding it, it becomes available again because people don't expect it anymore. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very, very much for watching. I have been Tetcher. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to become a member, it would be very appreciated. I'm going to go record another one of these, which means I need to change shirts so we keep the variety going. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.